Hello everybody, всем привет. Today I want to talk about the um, creature abilities. I have got basic attack functionality working. I think my elf, the level 3 creature for the sorceress, attacks with 2 shots if he's able to for the ranged attacks. Um, but he only gets 1 attack for melee attacks. And the special ability of the Wolf and the Paladin is they both get 2 melee attacks per turn. So they attack twice. If the enemy can counterattack, it does between the first and the second attack. And if they kill the creature they're attacking with the first attack, they don't get the second attack. The elf, if he does the same thing, he just saves like a shot for later. So because I think he has 24 shots. The Hydra attacks all adjacent squares, but only causes damage to enemy units unless Berserker has been cast on it. And then I created this image. I just whipped up PowerPoint and created something with hex tiles to show like how that should be calculated. The Hydra is a wide creature, so it gets 2 hex tiles. The Hydra victims get no retaliation, so none of the enemies can retaliate. I think this is already coded in. I think I put the Hydra in as one of the creatures where enemies can't retaliate against them. But I said, let's confirm that. And it attacks all adjacent spaces. Enemies can't retaliate. Genies, they have a 10% chance of having the enemy stacks, regardless of how much damage they do. The number of the number of kills rounds up. So it only has a chance to work if it would cause more damage than normal. I think we have to assume if the 10% halving roll happens, we choose the greater of having the enemy troop or the damage they would deal, which is basically saying the same thing. So if it's going to do more damage, then we just ignore that successful 10% roll. But otherwise, we get a battle notice. Genie destroys half the enemy troop. In the battle screen info bar, that little purple bar on the bottom, and the stack is halved, rounding up on the damage. Ghosts have this awful ability where they basically capture a soul. And so for every creature they kill, they get a new ghost. This adds to the stack that did the attack. It's not counted in terms of experience at the end of the battle. The end of the battle just takes into consideration the creatures at the start of the battle. So I don't think this will change any code logic there for the end of battle results. Trolls regenerate their hit points at the end of every turn. Any trolls below 40 hit points are brought up to 40 hit points when the battle round starts over. And so I said, let's make these additions to battle logic and battle resources CPPH. So it goes through, adds troll regeneration. That was pretty easy for it to do. Then it adds second melee pending for the wolf and the paladin. Let's see, the Hydra, it calls it splash damage. I guess that makes sense. You know, splash damage would be like damage on a tile plus damages or damage like to the adjacent tiles. I'm thinking of like rocket damage in Quake. That probably dates me a little bit, but things like that would have splash damage. Maybe shotgun damage in Doom has a little bit of splash damage. Maybe rocket damage in Doom also does. I'm not sure. I am not fully familiar with the Doom damage dynamics from 1993. Let's do a quick sanity check, try and compile key sections, blah, blah, blah. Had to continue because it was a long one. So it's still working on the damage max frame for the Hydra. And then it also does this for the Genie kill and quantity state. So it output some things here. So the elf logic was fine. Wolf and Paladin get double melee attacks. The retaliate damage is the same second swing check. And then if the target dies, the second attack is canceled, which matches the elf's precedent. Then for the Hydra here, it does separate damage. So each head does separate damage to various targets around it. And something about the animation, which isn't really that important. The Genie logic here, we talked about it, that if having kills is greater than normal kills, we override the damaging. And then, yeah, the the ghosts apply this damage. So if the kill is, let's see, what is this logic here? Quantity before is true, quantity before minus defender becomes quantity. Okay, so basically if it kills something, it adds quantity before minus defender goes to quantity. So it accretes any killed creatures to quantity. So attacker quantity plus equals creatures killed, and ghost absorbs and souls is pushed. Now I don't know if this was actually the text that was in the game. It seems like a good idea. That's something inserted by the AI, so I'm going to leave it in for now, and I can clean that up a little later. And then the troll has its hit points, regeneration each round. That's cool. And it all looked pretty good, and I want to just go in and we'll test a few of these things quick. So let's, you know what? We'll have some dragons and some peasants, and we're going to go to the graveyard and have a little party at the graveyard here. So oh, the counterattack didn't work. That's interesting. So the attack did work, but the counterattack from the ghosts did not actually capture the results. So we're close. I need to add that as a bug to be fixed. Yeah, but I am happy to see that the basic ghost functionality did work. So I'm going to add the ghost retaliation as another bug to fix, because I hadn't actually tested that. I moved on. I basically updated my documentation and moved on to the next thing. So I'm also going to test the next thing I built was losing a battle with a hero, and the hero isn't dismissed. And so let's run through this and see what happens here. So I lost a battle with a hero against some neutral creatures. Hero was not dismissed. They were still there, but with an army of 0 after being defeated. We need to apply the dismiss logic after this, apply battle result logic or something like that. Again, this behavior is when the hero loses the battle after OK is clicked on the battle results screen. The screen returns to the adventure screen. The hero should be dismissed. The kill fade sound should play, and the hero sprite is removed from the adventure map screen. So let's pull that up, pull up Claw here. And I am going to just weaken poor Wrathmont here. He's going to be a very, very weak hero with 9 centaurs. They are probably not going to survive. We're down to 3 centaurs, 2 centaurs. Okay. So let's see what happens here. We click OK, and he disappeared, and he didn't go back to the castle. So that is actually fixed. I noticed there was something, it was missing hero pool, so I submitted the submitted that code, and it figured out this defeat setting and basically added that in. So that was just another minor fix. We're doing lots of little odds and ends today. We did discover there's a ghost bug, so we're going to have to fix that. The ghost retaliation didn't properly fix it. And then I'm going to work on animating the hero flag sprites. So this is something where I need to actually pull up the proper game and just show you what I'm talking about here, because in the other existing version of the game I can show you here. So my flag of my hero only moves when I walk. So this flag here only gets animated when the hero walks. And in the actual game, it's actually animated all the time. See, it's waving. Yes, it moves when you walk, but it's always just waving. These flags around the castle are not. So that's what I want to fix. And I want to just pull up, I think it's in flag 32. No, it's actually not. It's actually in the colored ones. So it's like B flag 32. So these are all of the different animation frames of those flags. And I'm not really sure why there's this many. They do go both directions here. And I'm, maybe I should look into this in a little more detail. It seems like some of these this one has more spacing than some of the others. So they're, yeah, I don't really know what the exact thing is. I guess there are some offsets here on some of these in the spec, but anyway, I give it that image. I guess I gave it the green one. I give it some examples of different animations of the waving sprite of a sorceress, and I give it a bunch of my code. And then I specify here that I have this hero sprite animation update. When the hero stands and moves around, the hero flag is animated and seems to blow in the wind as the hero stands and moves around. The flag is basically just always animated while the hero is selected in the hero locator. So that's the other thing, is it's only while that hero is in the hero locator that it's animated. So it's kind of like letting you know, it's a subtle thing, but it's letting you know that that hero is actually the hero that you have selected, just in case you didn't notice, I guess. And I think I might have found a bug with it before, so but let's just test this quick and recruit another hero. So you'll notice that this guy's flag is not moving and this guy's flag is moving. And now, even though I've like lost focus, when I move this around, it stops. Then when I move the hero again, like the clicks are focused on the hero. So it's not exactly when this is selected, because when you move the screen, it stops animating the flag. So that's like a minor bug there, or I don't know if it's a bug, but it's part of the specification that the flag stops. I did not add that in here, but so anyway, I describe it's these B flag 32 frames. I don't remember if I loaded them into resources.cpp. But anyway, we want to fix this. We want to use the series of them as animation frames. Here's G flag 32 as an example, and here's the spec. I just want to animate the flag of the hero sprite as the hero stands and moves around. So it goes through, looks at hero animation, render map, game main. Basically comes up with some idea that these are the different directional flags. And maybe that is based on the, so there's riding frames and there's a second set of frames. I'm not sure what they are, but maybe those are different directions. So I didn't really analyze this too much. I just kind of threw it into the AI and said, can you fix this? We got a compiler error. Then it made some fixes on that, and and it did seem to work. So let me see what my build does here. See how close we got with the build. Okay, so that looks good. The flag is animated. It remains animated as we move around. Let's recruit another hero. Ergon, the barbarian. And now he's animated. And oh, I don't have the ability to move between. I have to drag and drop this. I haven't implemented the ability to move left and right and up and down on the maps, so we won't actually be able to test that properly. But yeah, anyway, the hero that is selected is waving, so that's kind of working. And I do have, there are some situations where I lose the selector indicator here, and those are minor bugs that I need to look at. But we got this one. We got this one fixed, and you know, just lots of these little subtle features that you don't really notice maybe if you're playing, but they, like, I almost didn't even notice it until I got to this point, and then I started looking like, oh hey, that's what's going on, and I didn't notice that the one that the hero that's selected is the one who has the flag waving and the other one doesn't. So it's I guess that's useful if you have like 4 barbarians next to each other and you don't know which one is selected. You can kind of visually identify it. You know, this game has roots in board games, and so it sort of allows you to have some differentiation between nearly identical tokens on a board. So that's pretty cool. And let's see what else I had. Let's see, creature abilities, battle defeat, and I had some UI improvements. So let's have a look at what we improved here. Yeah, so this is interesting. So I worked on trying to update the route markers from red to green during the new day cycle when a hero's movement points refresh. Currently, the new day cycle happens, the hero's movement points refresh, but the route planned from the previous day remains red. So, like, let's just check that out over here, and I can demo that. So we've got Dimitri. I'm gonna just send him on a little journey over here, and then maybe we'll try and go back to the castle. Now let's do the new day animation. And it's still red. And then as soon as I do that, it turns green, but I have to like re-click that. So that's not exactly right. And if we look at the correct, if we look at the game behavior here, we'll see what we're dealing with. I'm actually gonna move this over here for a moment so we can read the rest of this while this loads. So Ambrose, and let's send Ambrose back somewhere now. See, the next when I refresh, that immediately turns green. So that's one good thing. And then let's see, when the hero's moving, I want them to be able to double click to interrupt the movement route and target the new square that I clicked on. So that is, I believe, the game behavior here. So he's moving a little too fast, such that I have trouble. But there I was able to do it. So you're able to interrupt where they're going. And I think that's an issue in my existing build here. So let's just double check that as well and show what's broken there. So I'm trying to double click and stop the route, and it can't stop, won't stop. So that's basically the behavior that I'm trying to fix. So it's minor, but it's important to get this stuff fixed. So I give it some images as well, namely this. And so it processes it, resets the coloring to new day. The double click works and the new route adjusts smoothly, but I would like it to stop the hero, cancel the existing route, and the new route to be shown at another double click, then starts the hero moving in that direction. It's not important that the hero keep moving. It's important that the route being displayed and the hero will move along it again once the ending of that route is double clicked. Double click stops the movement on the next possible tile, sets a new route, and waits for a second double click to start moving on the new route. So let's see what happened. This might be the one that worked. I might have not saved the intermediate one, but what was happening is I would double click and it would immediately reroute and the hero would just keep moving. So it was like a real-time strategy game almost level of clicking versus giving you a chance to construct your routes a little better. You'll notice there's a little bit of animation leakage where the hero is walking over the castle, and I do fix that. I did also move the images to be over this. So I think this is actually the build from the end of this chat session here. So so anyway, it claims it fixed that, and I think it kind of did. Yeah, see there I was able to double click and stop it. Let's just demonstrate that once more. Yep, so we're now able to basically stop mid-movement, which is an improvement. And okay, I guess I did make some other adjustments, but they're saved here, but not in that one. Did I get this? Well, anyway, I think what was happening before in something that I also fixed, and maybe this will come up in a later video, maybe I have my chats out of order, but but I was basically able to create this route, but the arrows would go behind the castle. They wouldn't be visible on top of it. And so I think I had to do something to make that work. And that might have gotten changed in one of my future sessions where I work on the front and back ordering of the render of, like in this case, being able to go, let's see if I can show you, go behind the sawmill here, and there's some weird sort of animation quirks there. So that's, yeah. But anyway, we fixed some of the routing stuff, so that just kind of fits neatly in with a lot of our minor UI bug fixes that we've been working on here. So I looked into the ghost bug, and I basically just said I have a bug with the battle logic. The ghosts create creatures when they kill enemies, and it works on a regular attack, but it does not work on retaliation. Can you make the ghost kill logic, adding creatures, work on the retaliation also? And I just dumped in a bunch of my code in my battle documentation, and it had a look and said, yep, I see resolve attack hit, but it's entirely absent from resolve retaliation. The fix is a single self-contained block added to this. So I made these changes and applied it, and I tested it, and I'm just going to demo that really fast here. Let's get rid of some of our stronger creatures. Put the peasants in the middle. Let's go get some more peasants. Alright, we have 90 peasants, just the perfect crew to take to the graveyard. Okay. So let's attack. This has 14, and let's see if we kill him, and now it's 55. So that seems like it worked.